right, guys, I did it. I gave in to Temu. I saw these itty bitty little miniature sets for, what was it, $8? And I had to think, are they any good? Or is all the hype about how terrible Temu is, are they right? Let's give it a try. So I got it, and I got it pretty quick. A lot of the reviews is, don't be in a hurry to get anything from Temu. It's kind of the going joke. It took 2 weeks, and I got it. Not a big deal. And it is a tiny little box, and there's a whole bunch of different versions. I picked the Moon Magic one to just kind of as an experiment. And you can tell the difference. Here's a regular box, and here's the one that I got. It's very small. But that doesn't scare us. We've done tiny. Now we'll do the usual. We'll open it up and see what's inside. There's definitely a lot of different versions. This is small. Even the instruction book is teeny tiny. But it's actually very beautiful pictures, well done. The instructions were very clear, I will say. But yeah, get your magnifying glass out if you have to. And there's only one sheet of, the paper things. That's the wallpapers and stuff. That's normal. So far, so good. We got all the parts and pieces in one bag, which is kind of nice. The only thing, if you're used to the Row Lifes or the Mayberry Streets, where it's A, B, C, or 1, 2, 3 bag, you're not going to go by that. You're going to go purely by looks. And there is, in the beginning of the instruction book, there is charts, which is very helpful. So, this is doable. All right, we're going to do as we do and start on the very first thing to make. And let's do this. First thing we're going to do is do all the walls. There's only, the floor and the 2 walls, so it's not bad. Actually, from the future here, this is not bad as a first mini. So, whereas, where a nice, easy, push-together Row Life is a bigger scale, if you want to go smaller, this is not bad as a first-time teeny one. Because, you don't have a huge commitment. It's just a little corner. So we're just going to wallpaper all the walls. And one wall has a window, so we'll just put that right here. All right, now we're going to build the base, or the floor, I guess. What's nice on these is it does have lines everywhere of where things go. So it's pretty straightforward. Not too much thinking. There's only a couple parts that might get a little confusing, but it's not bad at all. And I'll say I did look at these kits. I was like, because I did end up liking this one. And I did see it on Amazon, the same kit maker, but they were a little bit more. So it's available if you'd rather go through Amazon. And also, I did notice while I was building this is probably the trickiest part, is this base, is pay attention, where the boards meet in the corners. So it does matter so that it fits the square inside. I did have to rebuild it at least once. It's almost like building a little bed or something. So once you get all your little corner pieces in, this is where you're going to find out if you did it right, because then the floor, the checkerboard floor, should fit right in there. And there we go. And just make sure there's a little notch there, and that matches up with the hole on the side. That's where your on-off switch is. Alright, and now we're just going to make it pretty. So basically wallpaper the outside. It's easier to do the wallpaper once it's all glued together and dry, then put this on. No, you couldn't do this before, so you'd have to wait, because it goes around the corner. And I'm going to glue this on, and notice I didn't put the hole in there. I don't usually put the holes in until after I glue it onto the main piece, because 99% of the time those holes will never line up. So to save yourself some heartache, just glue it on, then cut out the hole, and then hey, it'll always match up. And then I'm just going to fold over the edges just to make it nice and clean. And I guess it's a tip is I have this little yellow squeegee, and I just use that as my creaser. Saves your fingers and paper cuts. Makes nice crisp lines. Another thing about this kit, the wiring, it's a little tricky, but not that bad. But it would be a great if you want to learn about wiring, because this has got all the basics in there. It's got a switch. It's got, it's got those annoying little button batteries, but that's okay. I wish it had the standard, AAAs or something. But hopefully these batteries last a while, and there's an on and off switch, so you can save the battery. Don't leave it on all the time. And I always test the lights just to make sure they work. They have the little kind of like the fairy lights, the little Christmas light for one part, and then it's got a standard light for the middle crystal ball. Alright, so we're going to build this little sign here. This is going to be the one of two lights that we have in the little diorama here. And it's just a box. The open space, that goes to the bottom of your light box. That's where your, the little fairy lights, the little Christmas lights, is going to go in. And this is the other light. This is the crystal ball. So you're going to put this stuff and put it in the little globe thing here. And I will say I didn't put enough of this gauze, the shiny purple. I could have jammed it way in there and made it a little better. But as you'll see later on, it was a little light, so it didn't cover up that really bright LED light. So I ended up, I had to kind of mute the crystal ball a little bit with some paint, but you'll see. So put all of this, because you don't use this gauze, whatever it is, anywhere else. So you could use all you want, just jam it in there. And then you just put your little light in there. It's gonna go something like that. Yeah, you see, I could have gone a little more. It doesn't mute it enough, in my opinion. Because when you turn it on, it's blinding. You're like, ah! Then you just glue the little base on and let that dry. In the meantime, we'll build the little tarot card table. This one's nice and easy. Just slot in the slot. You're going to make kind of an X base for the table. I don't think there's any wrong way to do it. They're both exactly the same piece. And I did glue it a little bit. And that's just the rule of thumb. If it feels wobbly to you, by all means, glue it. And this glue dries clear, so no big deal. We don't want your piece falling apart. And then just glue it to the base. Try to get it as centered as possible. Alright, now that things are semi-dry, we have a little picture on there. It is a cool looking little project. It's kind of fun. And then we're gonna, there's a hole there specifically for the crystal ball, so we're just gonna string it through. And this is another tip. Some of these parts, like this, wait till things are dry, because once you start putting things together and then it starts falling apart, it's really hard to fix after the fact. So just be patient. Do a part, let it dry. Do another part, let it dry. That kind of thing. And we're just going to hide the wires behind the table legs. Nobody will ever know there's a light. No, it's the spirits. It's the spirits speaking to me. Alright, now we're going to do this other light here. And we're just going to make, out of these little lights here, you're going to make a T shape. So one light's going to be in the middle. You're going to fold it so that it fits there. And then, so it's going to have 3 lights all the way across. You'll just have to run it and then backtrack a little bit on your wiring. These wires are pretty tough, so don't worry about breaking it. And there's even a little thing on the piece of paper itself so that you can line it up. They try to make it as easy as you can. Yeah, just, it doesn't have to be too pretty because this is going to get covered up. So just get it there, get it stuck down. I use my alcohol-based glue. Whenever I use wires or plastic, I try to use that alcohol base because it sticks a little better. And I probably held it there for a long time. And then you're just gonna glue your little light up sign right on top. See, it's not so bad. We're already to putting up walls. This goes really quick. This is a nice instant gratification kind of project. I did it in one day. Just sat there and just tooled away, watching YouTube and just kind of zoning out. And these walls didn't want to stand up for me, but there's nothing against using things to prop it up. And this is another one where I just let it dry. Just let it dry before you go to the next step. Or make something else while that's drying. And I do use the Eileen's Fast Dry Tacky Glue. It works great. And I 100% am behind glue that dries clear. Because I'm a globby gluer. Now I'm trying to put the table in while the walls aren't completely 100% dry. This is what I mean. Be patient. But I wasn't. So I would let those 2 walls dry first and then do the table. Don't do like I do. I'll teach you the wrong way to do it. There we go. We're just gonna let that dry for a while. Don't touch it. Okay, now things have dried, obviously, otherwise this stuff would just fall all over the place. Now we're gonna organize underneath. So first off, you're gonna put your little switch is gonna go right in that hole. But before we do that, we're going to take the ends off, exposing the copper wiring. And just, it does tell you which wires go where, but I always test it because there's always that one light that's wired backwards. So test it before you seal it up. Once you know the right direction for your wires and the lights are actually working, then you seal them up. I like using shrink tubes. They do provide tape if you need it, but shrink tubes work great for me. And it secures it a little better, in my opinion. Alright, now that we got this all sealed up, we know it works. Let's put the little light switch on the side here. They have tape that you could put on there, but I glued it in. I want it a little more secure. I know this is going to get touched a lot, you know, on and off. So I'm just going to put a little super glue on there and stick her on. Just try not to glue your switch. Otherwise you'll never be able to get it on and off. Or turn it on and off. I also glued the battery box down. You don't have to. There's a little piece of paper that you can put over the top of it, but as long as the side where you change the batteries is facing out, you'll still be able to change the batteries. So I'm just going to secure it to the bottom here. I probably could still pry it off if I had to too. And while I'm holding this to dry, I'm going to try turning it on. Make sure it still works. And it does. Yay! So you can see that I made the little slidey thing. This is so that you can put the battery box in there. It did fall off, so that my glue didn't hold. So I'm just going to do how they said. Okay, fine. We'll do it how you said to do it. So you just kind of make a little sleeve, and then you can slide your battery box in there. I also glued down some of the wires just so that it's not all dangling all over the place. I try to keep it as nice and neat as possible, and make sure if you do it with the sleeve for your battery box, make sure you have enough slack to be able to pull the battery box out. So don't glue it down too much. Alright, now we get to make a whole bunch of accessories. So, guess what we're making? Books! We should be pros. If this is your first kit, this will not be the last time you make books. So this is a great book 101. Number one, I would highly recommend pre-creasing every page. It'll make your life a whole lot easier. So just get something not sharp. I have my little awl here and a straight edge, and just go down every page. And that way when you accordion fold it, it'll be nice and crisp. And this is what we do. We fold it all up. Glue it all down, and you got a book. And you just repeat the process. And we have a couple little mysterious letters here. And you just cut them out, fold them in half, and glue them shut. Easy peasy. All right, now we're going to make some boxes. These are wand boxes. And fun fact, when we went to Universal Studio, it was a year or so ago, we actually have our own wand. So once you got these little tiny boxes all cut out, again, I would recommend pre-creasing. It'll make your life easier, believe me. A little extra time doing this will save you in the long run. And you just fold it up just like you would a regular cardboard box, just smaller, that's all. And glue it shut. And you'll have 4 little tiny wand boxes all together once you're done. And see, the box matches the little boxes. So very clever. Yes, we're Harry Potter nerds and proud of it. All right, another thing that first-time miniaturists will discover is you are going to make a billion scrolls in your lifetime. So all it is all these little teeny pieces of paper, and you roll them up. I like to use my round-nosed pliers to help me out with this, especially if you're folding against or rolling against the grain to get it started. It makes a nice, neat little curl at the end. And you'll make just a few. All right, we got lots of potions and crystal balls and things like that to make. So pretty straightforward. You're just gonna stack things. So you got your bases, and then you got your pretty little beads that just get glued right on top. All right, remember all those boxes, the wand boxes we made? Well, we got to make wands, right? You're going to make a couple. And I would recommend keeping your main wire long, just so that you have something to hold on to. Believe me, you'll thank me later. Because if you can do it the other way, where you pre-cut it down to the size you want and then build it. But I find it much easier to keep the main wire long and then cut it down after. So you're just gonna put the stuff on the end, the scepter parts, I guess. And then you're gonna take this thinner wire, and this is where it's much nicer to have a longer wire to hold on to, that thicker wire. The hardest part of this is getting it started. Once you get it started, then you just wrap it around until as long as you want it. They give you more than enough wire, so if you go a little long, it's fine. And you're going to make 2 of these, so you'll get good at these. And then on one box, you're going to put a little rivet on there, just so that it kind of angles up when you set your wand on top. And the other one just kind of plops on there. Just like that. These are much prettier wands than the Harry Potter ones. They're very sparkly. And I discovered I had to make a couple more little crystal ball doodads here. So we'll just put those together. Another tip I had, and I will honestly probably stole it from somebody who commented on my videos. Thank you, because I do learn from you guys, and as much as hopefully you learn from me. But I put this on a wire so that it's threaded through all the beads there, especially when you have something stacked up like this. Trying to balance it, a teeny tiny little thing, is really hard to do. So what I'm doing is I'm stacking it up on my awl. You can see it underneath there, just to hold it straight. And I'm just going to let it dry a little bit, and then I'll take it off. Hopefully you don't glue it to your holder. And then there was this little funny piece that just has a bead at the end of the chain, I guess. So you just kind of loop it at the end, glue it, and then put a bead at the end. Hey, we just follow instructions, right? And what's a wizard place without a cauldron? So we had to make a cauldron. So you're going to kind of make a crisscross with your, is it ribbon? String? It's like a golden string. And so just glue it onto the front. You get kind of ambidextrous holding things. So I'm holding this to dry while I'm putting the centerpiece on there. You get pretty good at this after a while. And remember all those scrolls you made? We'll throw a few in here. There we go. Couple more boxes to make. I would say the hardest thing out of this whole kit is cutting these pieces out. They are not punched out or perforated or anything, so you have to cut them all out. That probably takes the longest. So just like we did all the other boxes, you just cut them out and fold them up and put them together. There's one that's a set of fake books, so you just fold it up. And this one is very much so the Harry Potter briefcase with, what is it, the magical beans in it. We won't tell. There's one thing, when you do some of these little knockoff kits, they definitely steal the IP imagery. But that's okay. It's just going to go in our house. We don't care. And we like Harry Potter. And with this little suitcase, we're gonna cut a little piece of those, that chain of beads, and we're gonna make a handle. There we go. Ministry of Magic. Alright, we gotta make ourselves a sign. It's just kind of propped in the corner, like our little gypsy sorcerer somebody. You know, they put it out front when they're open. And it's basically just gluing the words onto your piece of wood. They're little hogworms. Crystal ball, sorcery. We know what they mean. And we're going to throw anything remotely magic in here. So we need a little witch's hat. So you're going to make a cone, and then you're going to put the brim on and decorate. we have one more scroll. This one's a little fancier. So what I would do on this one, and I think that's what I ended up doing, is just roll up your little map there, just like you normally would make a scroll. Then put the wire in and put the little end caps on. So I rolled up the scroll. Now we got our wire. So rather than trying to fight the wire with the scroll, this is much, much easier. Just cut it to size. Now you can glue it into your scroll and then put the little beads at the end. Then it looks like a scroll with the little handles. You honestly could probably skip the wire inside completely if you wanted to and just put the end pieces. Either way, it works. Alright, we have two cabinets. There's one really tall one here, and just follow the directions. They build it in an order that's very specific, and it does make sense. I did put the feet on first, and just so that it would give it more time to dry. That's probably the only thing I skipped ahead a little bit. So I just put these little feet guys on and set it aside to dry, because I knew if I did that last, to balance it with little tiny feet would be frustrating. So I'm trying to save myself some hardship here. Alright, now let's keep building this cabinet. Probably the only tricky part I had was keeping things straight, because it's not all flat on one side where you can lay it down and then just flatten it to your table. So it's kind of a little bit centered. That was probably the trickiest part, but otherwise it worked out. And then you just have a paper backing and your little cabinet is done. And the only other piece of furniture here, yeah, for such a little thing, it's got a lot of stuff in it, right? You got kind of like a little dresser drawers. And this one's a lot easier because it's front, back, sides, you know, top. The only thing you got to pay attention is to the printing. There is kind of a slight engraving on the front to kind of indicate, you know, drawers and things. They don't actually open, but it gives the illusion. And to build up the illusion here, we got to put little drawer pulls on everything. Easy enough. Again, this glue dries crystal clear, so I know, I'm messy. Sometimes you can't help it. And then it's got a little table runner along the top. And then you got yourself a cabinet. Phew, we built almost everything. Let's put it a little bit together, the fun part. This is where you realize all the stuff that you built. And you just jam them all in there. I like to go by the chart because, you know, that's the way they built it, so why not? You honestly could put it in any way you want. right, and now we gotta fill this little table up too. Thought we forgot about that, huh? Our sign goes in the middle, and then right in front of that goes the tall cabinet. And then, if we did it all right, this little short cabinet should fit right there. We got a tight little corner here. We got a very busy little sorceress here. Oh, but wait, we missed something. The all-important broom. You can't, how are you supposed to get around if you don't have a broom, right? So this one's pretty straightforward. You just fold up your crepe piece of paper. You're gonna fringe it up. To make the broomstick, you're going to fold your black wire in half, and then you're going to twist it up, leaving a little loop at the top. And that loop will hold our little ruby here. A magic ruby on our magic broom. And then we're going to roll up our little fringe we have here. It's going to turn into a broom. And then we're just gonna wrap our little string here around the top. Ta-da! You might have to floof it and trim it a little bit, but there's your broom. Now let's place it in the project. And the very last thing, we're going to make a little dust cover. So you're just going to make a I guess it's four-sided box. There's no back or bottom to it. And this one, just take your time gluing it together. And I did use my alcohol glue for this. While I was working on this, I had a little friend. The little ladybug just wanted to crawl all over the place. And I let her because, you know, ladybugs are lucky, right? I was very interested in all the little parts and pieces. I don't know if, do they eat glue or something? I don't know. Anyway. She's all over the place. And I tried not to seal her in either. It's like, go away. Every time I flicked it away, it would just fly right back. It was weird. But hey, there we go. There's our cute little wizard corner. With an extra ladybug on top. My review, I think I really liked this. Actually, I liked it so much that I bought another one. Yep, I bought another one. So we'll probably be doing that one in the future because I like the size. It's small. You do a lot, but you can do it in a day, and it's very satisfying at the end. So I'm gonna do the other one too, and we'll see how that one turns out. My only tips and tricks, if you do decide to go through Temu, read the descriptions, read the reviews, go through the ones that aren't bots and like, oh, this is wonderful, fantastic. I did come across a few kits that, you know, it will say 2D image. That means it's just a picture of a miniature kit, not the actual kit. So read, and do your due diligence. And I also double checked if it's the same product is in like Amazon, and get those reviews too. So I'm a little bit of a skeptic and a little bit paranoid. So coming from me, I think this was a great kit, you know. And I would definitely, and I am going to be doing another one of theirs. So we'll see how that one turns out. If it's a 2 for 2. Good ones. Anyway, I hope you had fun with this one, and maybe it'll inspire you to look into some smaller ones, right? And I'll see you in the next one.